Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? Got another rant video for you here, and fucking third time I'm doing this. I just thought someone was at the fucking door and I had to stop. So this is going to be the last time, even if someone walks through that door, and even if it's my brother, I'm just going to be like zoned in here. So today's rant is going to be a little bit about perceptions of how well teams are doing, how good teams are, and why I get a little bit, not despondent, but I get a little bit annoyed and frustrated when certain people are like, oh, you support that team, hoo hoo hoo, they're shit. When you think about it, when you really think about it, what has that team achieved compared to another team? Let's say, for example, Fulham. Fulham haven't really achieved anything in the last 10 years off the top of my head that I can think of. Are they a good side? Yeah, they're a good side. You know, but FIFA certainly fucking thinks so as a 4.5 team. But FIFA are a good team. Fulham are a good team. You know, they're good at home. Their home ground is their fortress. Not so good away. They're pretty shit away, although they did win 3-0 away today. But then you look at us, and by us I mean West Ham. What have we achieved in the last 10 years? Well, we did get to an FA Cup final, but that's about the best we've achieved. You know, what the fuck is that? That's nothing. You know, we haven't really achieved anything in the last, 10 years. But neither have Fulham. But yet, if somebody says, I support Fulham, and somebody says, I support West Ham, the likelihood of that West Ham supporter getting ripped into by the people saying, why do you support them, they're shit, and the Fulham fan is a lot higher. Yet, comparatively, they've achieved the same. So people get this misconception about how good a football team is. You know, I don't get why people think just because we're in a lower league that we're not as good, or that we're not as worthy of getting support. Take for example Villa. Now, again, another team. You ask, you tell a Villa fan around here, you support them, they'll start laughing at you. And I just think to myself, okay, other than Martin O'Neill in the last 10 years, what have you realistically achieved? Okay, when the Premier League first started, you were quite a strong team, you used to be a really good side. And this is the other thing I want to get to, sort of clubs that have this perception that they think they should be better than what they are. Tottenham is a great example. That's why I dislike Tottenham fans. Because Tottenham fans have always been the same. They've always thought we should be better than what we are. Even now, they think you ask a Tottenham fan, do you think you should be in Europe? They'll probably say yes. You know, again, it's all about earning it. It's not about a foregone conclusion. You know, it should be earned. Other fans that piss me off are Man City fans. Man City fans are cunts. I'll tell you the reason why. They used to be nothing. They're now everything. And now just because they might not win the league, they're crying. And I don't understand why. You know, fair enough, if you used to be there, in the dog days when you was an average Joe team, and now you support them and you've got that sort of rub of the green, that luck, where you've got those Arab owners, then I applaud you. I give you a golf clap. But for those of you who, were like, I live in Manchester, born in Manchester, but I've never really liked football that much, never really want to support Man U because obviously the stigma drawn towards supporting Man U is a bad one, and now all of a sudden you support Man City, then fuck you, because you're not a supporter. You're just some douche that's just basically, reaping the benefits of being in that area. I don't want to get onto glory fans because I don't really care who you support. I'm not really that into football. I actually prefer golf than I do football. Just because football's a shitty sport, the refs are making it even worse every day. The players make it worse. I personally blame foreign players for the diving that goes on in our games. Because one day, what happened was at the managers from England brought over foreign players. The foreign players dived because that's what they did back home. The referees thought, oh, fuck me, that's a bit contentious, Yeah, okay, he's dived, he's looked for it, he's clearly a gamesmanship and little cunt. But what we're going to do is we have to give the foul because he technically hasn't got the ball, so maybe the player's got a point. It doesn't matter the fact that he's about 150 pounds and about as thin as my finger and gone down easier than fucking Thomas Daly on a diving board. We're still just going to book him and foul him, and as a result, now this game's a fucking puffers game, and it has this negative stigmatism drawn to it, where it's basically like, if you're in the box, you will literally see a player, if he runs into the box, in his mind, he won't be thinking, I'm in a goal scoring opportunity here. He'll be thinking, oh, fuck me, if I get the ball around this player, I can just fucking fall over and get a foul. But again, we've sort of gone off topic here. The point is very few teams, if you look in the last 10 years, have really achieved anything, sort of within the top, say, 50 clubs in England. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that the top 50 are the ones who are in the Premier League, everyone who's in the Championship, and a couple of that are in the league below that. Because let's be honest, it sort of works like that. if you ticked off every club that's won something within the last 50 years, oh sorry, 10 years, the last 50, the next 50, the top 50, very few would have actually won anything. But yet, people will be like, they'll take the piss out of you because you support a slightly lesser club, when really that lesser club you support has achieved just the same as them. And I'm going to use Newcastle as a really good example here, because Newcastle is an example, if I can get my words out eventually, is an example of a club that realistically have achieved more than most teams in the Premier League within the last sort of 5 years. Why? Because they had that season where they went down under, I think it was Glenn Roeder, and then that season they won the Championship. Now personally, if you had to ask me what I would rather achieve, a European spot in the Premier League, when you're never going to win the cup anyway, or to win the Championship convincingly, score a fucking shitload of goals, have loads of things to cheer about within the year of playing in that league, and actually win a cup, I would rather do the latter. I would rather win the league, than finishing some pointless fucking European spot, which just means next season you're going to have to play more games on top of the games you've already got to play, and enter a cup that you're never going to fucking win because you've got better teams in there from Spain and other countries. So I guess the rant can come to a sort of an end now, conclusion. The point is stop thinking your club is superior, because the likelihood is it's fucking not. You know, I'm not going to be the first to say that West Ham are a good team, because we're not. We're very inconsistent. We've got a couple of good players, a couple of bad players. Most of them are just average. I don't think that we should be in the Premier League. I think we should earn the right to be in the Premier League. I don't have this concept in my head, this expectation. I can understand people who go on a regular basis and have an expectation, the season ticket holders, because you do pay, obviously, money every week. But it is what it is, you know. At some point you're going to be good, at other points you're going to be bad. For example, Newcastle under Glenn Roeder that year were fucking atrocious. That's why they went down. This year, they've got a couple of really good players, a couple of really good goal scorers in Demba Ba and obviously now Cisse. And now all of a sudden, they're the European spot. Who knows? At the end of this season, they could sell one of their players, one of their better players. Next season, they could finish 8th, and then people would say that that was a disappointing season. When in actuality, it really wasn't that bad in the general scheme of things. But again, they just didn't win. Take Birmingham, for example. Birmingham was one of those sort of like bittersweet seasons last season, where they went down, which was obviously the bitter element, and obviously the sweet element was winning the Mickey Mouse Cup. Now, you know, when Liverpool won the Mickey Mouse Cup this season, a lot of Birmingham fans were posting things on Facebook saying like, "Oh, I love the way last year that when we won the Mickey Mouse Cup, everybody said it was a shitty cup, but now this year because Liverpool won it, all of a sudden it's an amazing cup." That's basically them just trying to get sympathy for the fact that they're shit. That's basically what that is. Look, let me ask you something. If it was an FA Cup tie, and the FA Cup tie was Man City versus Manchester United, there's going to be a shitload of hype. Why? Well, one, it's a local derby. Two, they win. They both win things. Three, they're both good clubs. We can agree on that. If it was like West Ham versus Fulham, nobody's going to give a fuck. Okay, it's slightly local derby. But what have we won in the last 10 years? Fuck all. Who are the players on show? From a neutral perspective, they've got nothing to be excited about. They're not watching top quality football like if it was Man City versus Man U. So that's the reason why. Not because people's perception of the cup changed, but rather because the teams on display weren't as good last season. That's what I think. But that's about it. Stop thinking your club's better than another club just because you're high up in a fucking league, because what you achieved in the general scheme of things is probably about the same in your history. So that's about it. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, and peace soup.